continuing with the Childhood Cancer Caucus, I am seen with
Annette Leslie.
Now, Annette, I understand there's a very special book out there that involves pediatric cancer and involves your life and your family. Can you tell viewers exactly this book, the title of the book, and what it's about, and who it's written by?
Sure. Yes. My little boy Carson negotiated with his English teacher that if he wrote a book during his freshman year as he was fighting cancer, could it count as his passing grade for freshman English? And they worked together and came up with a plan. And his journal, it really was his journal, but his journal, as he got sicker and sicker, it grew into a book called "Carry Me" by Carson Leslie. And it's his fears and his dreams and his loss of dreams as he was a little boy at 14 years old fighting for life. And the crazy part is it was published 6 days before he died. And we've sold thousands and thousands and thousands of copies. Every cent goes to study his brain, because that was his dying wish, was to have his brain studied to help the next kid. So, it's a pretty crazy, amazing, called "Carry Me" by Carson Leslie, and you can only get it on our website.
Okay, and what's that website?
It's called CarsonLeslieFoundation.org. So that's.
I just have to say, I got goosebumps when you told me that first his age, what the book was about, and that it got published, or he got to see it published. So
yeah.
I think that'd be a very special book for either other families to read about this, read this book, learn about it, or other families who might know other families who are affected by it, or maybe one day someone might be affected by pediatric cancer and they just don't know it yet. But I think that this is a book, I just got goosebumps. And I also heard Richard Plotkin, who's a lawyer, he said he read it. And
he told me just now, he said he ordered 30 copies and he's just handed them all out. He was getting ready to do a trial, and he was reading Carson's book, and he was weeping just the reality of his story, and he had to defer to his partner to finish out the case.
So it's a very moving, very telling book for anyone to read. So please find it, "Carry Me" by Carson Leslie. So
on CarsonLeslieFoundation.org.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for meeting with us and telling us your story, and about your son as well.
Yeah.
And I look forward to reading it.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Excuse me? There are some things you can't control.
The weather.
The front page.
Cell phones ringing.
Traffic.
The stock market, obviously.
Hearing they love you.
Or they don't.
We're hearing the one thing no one wants to hear.
Cancer.
Okay, things you can control.
What you know before treatment.
Your options.
All the facts.
There's a high risk of infection during chemotherapy.
So don't let anything interrupt your fight against cancer.
Get prepared.
Get healthy.
Stay strong.
Stay well.
Talk to your doctors.
And go to manageyourtreatment.com.
There are some things you can't control.
But this, you honestly can.